Once upon a time, in a beautiful countryside village, there lived a curious little boy who loved to spend his days exploring the lush green fields that surrounded his home. One day, as he was wandering through the fields, he noticed 3 different types of birds perched on a tree branch nearby. There was a majestic eagle with its sharp talons and piercing eyes, a colorful parrot with its vibrant feathers and playful demeanor, and a small and humble sparrow with its soft chirps and unassuming appearance. As he watched the birds perched together, the little boy couldn't help but wonder why 3 such different creatures would choose to sit together in peace. He was curious about what the birds could teach him about life and decided to approach them. He cautiously approached the tree and asked, "Excuse me, Mr. Eagle, Mrs. Parrot, and Miss Sparrow, may I ask why you are all sitting together?" The parrot, who had been preening its feathers, added, "Yes, and we all have unique abilities that help us survive. The eagle has its sharp talons and keen eyesight. I have my beautiful feathers and mimicry skills, and the sparrow has its small size and agility." The sparrow chirped in agreement. "And we all have something to learn from each other. The eagle can teach us how to soar high and see things from a different perspective. The parrot can teach us how to communicate effectively, and I can teach us how to be content with what we have and make the most of it." The little boy was struck by the wisdom of the birds and realized that despite their differences, they had a common goal and could learn from one another. He sat with them for a while, observing their interactions and listening to their stories. As he sat with the birds, the little boy was reminded of a valuable piece of advice he had heard before. Don't use your energy to worry. Use your energy to believe. He realized that this advice could be applied to his life and decided to reflect on it. He thought about all the times he had wasted his energy worrying about things that were beyond his control. Likewise, he remembered how these worries had drained him of his vitality and left him feeling helpless and anxious. However, as he watched the birds interact with each other, he realized that they didn't waste their time worrying about things that were beyond their control. They accepted themselves for who they were, and they made the most of their unique skills and abilities. The eagle soared high above the tree, the parrot mimicked the sounds of other birds, and the sparrow danced along the branches with grace and agility. Each bird was content with their individuality and used their energy to believe in itself and their abilities. The little boy realized that he could apply the same mindset to his life. Instead of worrying about things he couldn't control, he could focus on believing in himself and his abilities. He could embrace his uniqueness and make the most of his skills and talents. He thanked the birds for the valuable lessons they had taught him and promised to carry their wisdom with him for the rest of his life. As he walked away from the tree, he knew that the lessons he had learned would help him face whatever challenges lay ahead. From that day forward, whenever the little boy saw the eagle, the parrot, and the sparrow perched together on the tree, he smiled and remembered the wisdom they had shared with him. He knew that their friendship was a reminder that even though we may appear different on the surface, we are all interconnected and can learn from each other. Over time, the little boy grew up to be a kind and compassionate person who always remembered the lessons he had learned from the birds. He used his energy to believe in himself and his abilities, and he encouraged others to do the same. One day, when the little boy had grown into a wise old man, he saw a young boy wandering through the fields, just as he had many years before. The old man approached the boy and asked, "Excuse me, young man, may I ask why you are wandering through the fields?" The boy looked up at the old man with curiosity and said, "I'm just exploring, trying to see what I can find." The old man smiled and said, "Well, let me tell you a story about some birds I met many years ago." And he proceeded to tell the boy about the eagle, the parrot, and the sparrow, and the valuable lessons they had taught him. As he finished the story, the old man saw a glimmer of understanding in the boy's eyes. He knew that the boy had learned the same lessons he had many years before, and he felt a sense of satisfaction knowing that his wisdom had been passed on to the next generation. The old man watched as the boy walked away, and he knew that the boy would face many challenges in his life. But he was confident that the boy had the wisdom and resilience to overcome them. As he sat down to rest beneath the shade of a tree, the old man thought about his life and the many lessons he had learned. He realized that life was a journey, and that every experience was an opportunity to learn and grow. He closed his eyes and listened to the chirping of the birds in the trees above him. And he knew that, regardless of what challenges lay ahead, he could always draw upon the wisdom of the eagle, the parrot, and the sparrow to guide him on his way. The story of the little boy and the birds teaches us several valuable lessons. Firstly, it reminds us that appearances can be deceiving, and that we should never judge others based solely on their external traits. Secondly, it shows us the importance of being open-minded and willing to learn from those who are different from us. And thirdly, it emphasizes the power of belief and positive thinking in overcoming challenges and achieving success. The central message of the story is encapsulated in the wisdom shared by the old man. Don't use your energy to worry. Use your energy to believe. This advice speaks to the human tendency to expend our energy on negative thoughts and worries, rather than focusing on our goals and aspirations. By choosing to believe in ourselves and our abilities, we can overcome obstacles and achieve our dreams. This requires a willingness to take risks and face challenges, as well as a positive attitude and a strong sense of self-belief. The story also teaches us that wisdom and knowledge can be gained from unexpected sources, and that we should always be open to learning from others. Just as the little boy learned valuable lessons from the eagle, the parrot, and the sparrow, we too can learn from the people and creatures around us. Finally, the story emphasizes the importance of passing on wisdom and knowledge to the next generation. The old man's decision to share his story with the young boy ensured that the lessons he had learned would be passed on and put into practice by future generations. In essence, The story encourages us to live our lives with an open mind and a positive attitude, and to always seek opportunities to learn and grow. By doing so, we can overcome obstacles, achieve our goals, and make a positive impact on the world around us. The end. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos like this from this channel. We love